Hey, my name is Belinda Dubston, and it is great as always to have you join me for the weekly I Ching overview, this time for the week commencing the 15th of November 2021. Well, last week we had a locked hexagram, hexagram 53 development. So what was the long-term potential, the showing up every day that you became aware of? And for me, I started a new project where I realized this is the first one of many to come of repeating this kind of project over and over, a long-term commitment. So for you, what was the development you are becoming aware of and that the I Ching asked us to pay attention to for last week? So let's have a look at this week, the week commencing the 15th of November. Well, I don't know what's going on, but we have another locked hexagram for this week. So as you know, the monthly hexagram of hexagram 4, Youthful Folly, is locked, challenging us to realize that we need some learning, we need some experience, we need to accept that there's areas outside of what we know and to develop that and to work undercover, developing internally while we develop that experience. Then last week we had a locked hexagram, 53 development, and this week we also have a locked hexagram, no changing lines, very focused, this is what it is, which is hexagram 3, difficulty at the beginning. Now, you may remember me saying before that when we see the word difficulty, we tend to think, oh, this is a terrible hexagram, there's difficulty. And I quite like Stephen Karsh's framing of this hexagram where he calls it sprouting. Okay, so we have the sprouting of the seeds. We've planted the seeds in hexagram 1 and 2. There was the creation process. They went into the ground in hexagram 2. The seed was created in hexagram 1, into the ground hexagram 2, hexagram 3, they're sprouting. So it's a wonderful storyline to help us understand the sudden burst of life and activity that comes with this hexagram. So although we think of difficulty at the beginning, what we're really talking about are the challenges that come in the birthing process. Okay, so we tend to have an idea, we work on a concept, and then suddenly it births and there's a whole lot of new things to pay attention to work through, to develop skills on the fly. And if you are a parent, it's the same thing as when your child arrives. You know, no matter how many books you read or how many classes you go to, nothing can prepare you for the things that you are asked to do and to pay attention to once the baby pops out. Okay, everything changes. And this is the energy that I want to share with you this week. I was thinking in preparation for this episode of an experience I had in my youth. We had a dog who was pregnant and the big day came and the first puppy arrived. It was a bit scary because it was new and, okay, going through that experience. Then puppy number 2 came out. Okay, that's all exciting. Puppy 3 came out. Oh, it's exciting. Puppy 4, that's very exciting. Puppy 5, puppy 6, puppy 7, puppy 8, and then a long gap, puppy 9. Okay, so what turned out of the dog is pregnant, we're getting puppies, this is so exciting, to 9 puppies running around. Okay, a logistical nightmare, a challenge that this poor dog didn't even know how to handle. Okay, and so this is the idea I want you to think about. When the eggs hatch, when the puppies arrive, when the baby is born, it's all hands on deck and we need to find a way of stabilizing ourselves, building a foundation. You've heard me speak before about this idea of the TV program Survivor. You know, when they first get launched into the game, the first thing they have to do is get to their island and build a shelter. That's the foundation. They can't go wandering off. You know, when the guys go looking for idols, they get into trouble. All hands on deck, you need to build a shelter. And that's the same idea for this week. Focus on the foundation. Whenever you feel overwhelmed in the week because there are chickens hatching everywhere, there's puppies popping out all over the place, when you feel that overwhelm, that things are just accelerating and there's so much to do and there's so much that needs your attention, just go back to your foundation. Make sure your core, you are in your center. Okay, take that time out, restabilize yourself, focus on the foundation of what you're doing and put down all the bells and whistles. Get the core right. Focus on getting the core in play. All right, so an interesting week. It is a locked hexagram, so there are not lots of changing lines and all kinds of second hexagrams and things to pay attention to. The I Ching has been quite clear. Lots of sprouting, lots of new beginnings. When that foal shoots out and is born, you have to get onto your feet. The little foal has to get onto his feet straight away and get moving. And this is what we need to do. We're going to hit the ground running this week. I really look forward to hearing next week how it went and what sprouted into existence for you this week. Very exciting. Lots of potential. Hold your head. Keep your mind focused, keeping focused on that foundation, and enjoy the wonderful birth that has arisen because of the seeds that you planted. Okay. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. It'd be great to have you join us again. And of course, see you in the socials and have a fantastic week. See you soon.